welcome to Eyes on the Game. I'm so stoked because it's already October, which means it is baseball playoffs, and I'm very stoked to have joining me, sitting on my left, the three-time World Series champion, 7-time Major League Baseball All-Star, 3-time saves champion, and so much more. And also, let's not forget, the Cy Young Award winner in 1981. I have the great Rollie Fingers. Thank you so much for your time and coming here in studio.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, and also you brought your son with you, yes, Corey Fingers.
Right. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for your time. So, first off, Rollie, what have you been up to?
Well, I play a lot of golf. During baseball season, I probably do anywhere between 15 to 20 charity golf tournaments for different organizations all over not the world, but all over the country. So in fact, I got to leave tomorrow for San Diego for American Airlines golf tournament, which is for Susan B. Komen, breast cancer.
Yeah, it is breast cancer month.
So I do that one every year, and just a bunch of tournaments all over the place. So it keeps me pretty busy traveling throughout the country, playing golf.
Yeah, golf is so much fun. And do you play with your son, Corey?
I've been playing with him. He gets to the point where he can almost beat me now.
Almost? Is that true?
It took a little while, but we're there.
But he's a good player. I have three sons really, and my other older son, Jason, he's a pretty good golfer too. They hit the ball 50, 60 yards by me, but
wow,
they can play.
Yeah, they're all athletically talented, like yourself. And so, like I just mentioned, it is October, and with the playoffs on Tuesday, October 4th, I want to know, Rollie, what are some of your predictions so far?
It's tough when you play 162 games and then you get into a 5-game series, and then you go to a 7-game series, and you go to the World Series, and when you get into a situation where it's a short series and you've played 162 games, anything can happen. Guys can get hot. I usually look at the pitching staffs to see who's been throwing well, who the guys are in the bullpen, if they've got 2 or 3, 4 guys deep down in the bullpen that they can go to. But in a short series, it's pitching. And whoever has the hottest pitching staff is the team that's going to win. What
do you think about the Orioles?
Orioles, they've got a great relief pitcher in the bullpen down there. He hasn't given up a whole lot of runs this year. I'm sure that they will go to him for sure in the 9th inning. If they've got to win, they may even go to him in the 8th inning if they've got to run. Because in a short series, yeah, crazy things happen.
Yeah, and what about you, Corey? Do you have any predictions or thoughts?
It's tough. I was so built up on the Indians all year, kind of riding them through the whole season, but the hot team on the other side would have to be the Cubs, so I'd really like to see the Cubs do it.
Yeah, that would be great.
I think everybody wants to see the Cubs do it.
Yeah, including me, right? And
there's guys out there getting tattoos on their arms, World Series champion.
They did.
They haven't even gotten there yet.
So they better hope that, otherwise they hope there's a inexpensive tattoo removal place. But did any team kind of stand out to you this year or surprise you?
Well, like we were just talking a little earlier, I think Cleveland, I wasn't expecting Cleveland to get in, do as well as they did. Chicago, all the hype was on Chicago, and they've come through. I mean, they've got a great offense, they got good pitching, and I think they were a team I think everybody picked. But I was surprised with Cleveland, and I think the Toronto Blue Jays too are into it too. So I think those two teams, Cleveland and Toronto, were my surprises.
And do you think it was kind of like the Cavaliers broke that quote-unquote curse? Do you guys believe in that, or?
Nah, I don't believe in curses.
Yeah.
They're all things, just all talent. LeBron's LeBron. LeBron's going to beat every curse. I don't think there's a curse that can hold LeBron down.
That is true. But what about, for example, Tim Tebow coming from the NFL and then taking a little break, and how do you think he will do now that he's pursuing baseball?
Well, that is not going to be easy. I think Michael Jordan found that out years ago, and I think he's coming in at the age of 28, 30 years
Yeah.
old, and not playing competitive baseball for a while. He might be able to get by okay in Class A ball, maybe Class AA ball, but it's called the slider. Once he hits that, and he runs into some guys that are throwing that and
Pretty quick, yeah.
walking up there and trying to face a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and he may find it a little bit difficult. I don't think it's going to happen, but who knows?
What about you, Corey?
I think all the power to him. He was
Yeah.
great in high school. He was all-state baseball player in high school. So it's 12 years later, he shows
Yeah.
signs of improvement and signs that he can still play, but I think the game's just too difficult
Yeah.
and a little, I don't know, I just don't see him doing it.
So you weren't really impressed with his first game when he hit a home run?
I heard that he hit one. I didn't
Yeah.
see it, but that's one home run. I hit two
Like-
home
like
runs
a
in the
lucky
big league.
one.
And I'm not making any money as a hitter, I'll tell you.
Yeah, but well, speaking of being such a great pitcher, like yourself, Rollie, and also I talked about being a Cy Young Award winner in 1981. Someone who was kind of in the runnings this year was the late Jose Fernandez. He was only 24 years old, but such a great pitcher with a bright future ahead of him. What was your kind of initial reaction when you heard about
golly,
it?
when I first heard it, I think everybody was just shocked. You want to find out what happened. Where was he? What happened in this thing? And being out on a boat at 3 o'clock in the morning in the dark, I don't know if I'd have been doing something like that to begin with, but it was a shock to the whole baseball world because he was such a great pitcher, young kid, on his way up, and it was very obvious, from watching television that it affected not only the Marlins, but every ball club, because I'm sure he had a lot of friends. He was a type of guy that he's always walking around with a smile on his face. He's always happy, and to go through something like the last time I went through something like that, really a complete shock was when Thurman Munson was killed, and that was when I was playing, and that was a complete shock to everybody. And so I know what these guys are going through.
Yeah, and what about you, Corey?
It shocked me more than anything. I watched him for the last 4 or 5 years coming up, even when he came over from, just his whole story coming from Cuba 3 times. He had to save his own mom from drowning. He didn't know it was his mom at the time. Just his whole story is just, it's amazing.
Gives
to me.
you goosebumps.
Yeah, and just that whole, it's how it can come and go so quickly.
I know, and I can't imagine like how his grandma feels. He
Oh,
loves his grandma, or
yeah, the
loved her.
Marlins brought her to America
Yeah.
and got her to see him. She didn't watch him play ball forever, and that happened last year. I'm pretty sure it happened last year. I think
Yeah.
it was. And so, yeah, it was pretty shocking for me, but he did a lot for baseball, especially for the Latino players. So it's really important that they see that too, and they're doing a good job. I think they took it a little more than anybody else.
Yeah.
So.
And the Marlins did a great tribute to him, and when all the players wore
Oh yeah.
his number and everything. But Rollie, is there any like pitcher that kind of stands out to you the most right now?
Oh, well, I mean, Bumgarner for San Francisco, and Arrieta certainly for Chicago, and Strasburg. If he's healthy and he's able to throw, he can beat anybody. So those 3 guys, I think, could make a difference with their teams in the playoffs.
Do you agree with that, Corey?
Yeah, I like a couple other players, a couple 20-game winners like J.A. Happ. J.A. Happ had a wonderful year this year. Nobody would have saw that coming out of there, so I was really glad to see that. But Arrieta, he finished out good this last year, followed up last year. Did good this year, following up last year, so I was glad to see that. So.
And Corey, I want to know, kind of like, a little story time moment.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like growing up, with your dad? and you can, tell the truth here.
No, it was great. I had opportunities that not a lot of kids got to have, and I definitely don't take it for granted. Got to meet people, got to learn pitching for the best, had the best pitching coach for my whole entire life, and probably the best life coach. You learn a lot from baseball, not just going inside the diamonds and playing, but just from him teaching me, and he was always there when he needed to be. Like, he travels a lot, but every time he needed to be there, he's a phone call away, and snap of a finger, he's there. So you couldn't ask for anything more.
You listened, as a kid he listened to. He got in a
He's a
little
good
trouble.
kid.
Every kid gets in
It's
trouble.
definitely trouble.
But you put them in their place and then they learn. I mean, you learn as a kid.
Yeah, and do you guys have any like funny golf stories? Because like you just mentioned, you guys like playing golf a lot, right?
I have a few golf stories. Sometimes he hits shots. He's got a little, not so much of a temper, but
Oh, they got a real temper.
he expects every shot to go the way it's supposed to, and when it doesn't, you'll hear it.
I've thrown a few putters in lakes before, so
Yeah.
I've gone through a few putters. I've never broken a club, but I've thrown a few in a lake.
Yeah, I sometimes like when I watch, the golf or PGA that's on. Who was the golfer recently that threw his club?
That was Rory.
Oh yeah,
Rory
he
did
got
that
mad.
last year on 18 and threw his, it was a 4-iron or 5-iron in the lake.
Yeah, you could have put a handlebar mustache on him and it looked just like me.
Yeah, but golf is hard. Like I went to the range a week ago and all my balls like go to the right.
And a little slice. It's definitely the game you love to
I
hate.
get so mad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a tough game it's a lot of mechanics. It's like
Yeah.
pitching. Pitching is a lot of mechanics. Hitting a golf ball is just the same way. You have to repetition over and over and over, practice, and then you get to the point where you can be halfway decent. But when you hit that one good shot, that's what keeps bringing you back. You might hit 60 bad ones, but you hit one good one, and that's what brings you back.
Exactly. That's all you need.
Yeah, that one good shot, you could be on 18 and hit 100 bad shots, but that last shot you hit good, just make it tea time tomorrow morning.
No, that's true. It gives you like all this confidence. You're like,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm a great golfer. And Rollie, lastly for you, for all the kids who are up and coming or want to pursue Major League Baseball, what advice do you have for them?
Take care of yourself. If you if you're going to be a pitcher, find someone who knows something about throwing a baseball and getting the right mechanics. Because a lot of kids don't know how to throw a baseball. You put a baseball in a kid's hand, he'll throw it any way he wants to. But you have to get good coaching, and if you get good coaching, you're going to have less arm problems. Because I see a lot of young kids nowadays going through Tommy John surgery, and they shouldn't be doing that. I mean. That's not throwing the ball properly. So get someone who knows something about throwing a baseball, and then practice. Going, don't overdo it, but learn to hit a spot and throw to the catcher's glove if you're going to be a pitcher. And same thing with hitting. Practice.
Would you ever open a school?
No, I'm too old to open any school.
No patience.
No,
Right?
well, I go out.
Corey's
I have a younger son who he's 13 and he's played a little league and stuff, and I've gone out there and I've helped the kids out with hitting or pitching, do that sort of thing. But no, to open a school, no, I'm done with the baseball at that end. But I if somebody asks me, I usually help out.
Well, where can people find you on social media? Are you on that at all?
I'm not on social media. No.
Only
He
Corey?
has a Twitter account that I handle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I will follow that. What is that?
Let me see, I think I have it.
Pulling out the cell phone makes it
Yeah,
easier.
I told him before All-Star break, I said, Dad, we need to get you on the Twitter. Start taking pictures, send them to me, and let's get you going.
Yeah, and especially during baseball playoffs, I'm sure your name gets mentioned on Twitter.
Well,
Quite
I don't know.
often.
I've never been on Twitter. I don't do Facebook.
He's like, I just play golf.
That's it. I got a phone for just phone calls. I don't even like texting.
And his Twitter handle's at handlebar34.
Oh, I will follow that right now.
I didn't even
The
know that.
signature
Handlebar 34,
handlebar. And for everybody who's tuning in right now, you guys can check out the photo, and he still does have his signature handlebar mustache.
It's a little grayer, but I still have it.
And Corey, do you want to give out your Twitter or social media, or just
No,
your
I'm
dad's?
good with that. It's fine with just my dad's.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, and once again, Rollie, it's such an honor to talk to one of the greatest pitchers of all time.
Well, thank you. It's nice being here.